Last year I reviewed Lovevery's reading skill set, and a lot of you in the comments guessed that their next major launch was going to be a math program. And if you guessed it, you were right. Today, Lovevery's math skill set part 1 is available. I had the pleasure of getting to try this out early the last couple of months with my 2 kids, and I can honestly say we are huge fans. In this review, I'm going to talk about our qualitative experience, what it's been like using it with a 4, almost 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. For context, both of my kids are homeschooled. My 4-year-old started kindergarten a couple months ago, and my 7-year-old should technically be in 1st grade, but she started 2nd grade a few months ago. I'm going to walk you through each of the games, ways we adapted it to make it work for our family, as well as some alternatives if you were to try to self-curate this on your own, and how that cost would compare to Lovevery's price tag. There are chapters in the description box below, as well as links to shop Lovevery's math skill set and all of the alternatives I'm going to be talking about. But spoiler alert, I absolutely think this should be in every classroom and every family's home if you enjoy educational or puzzle type games. Part 1 is titled the hands-on math set, and this particularly focuses on counting and quantity, addition and subtraction, and shapes and space. Largely, I'd say this is targeted towards preschoolers, kindergartners, and 1st grade math skills. However, as I go through the deep dive of each item, you will see how the games cover a wide variety and can be used with older siblings up to I'd say 10 years old for some of them. This is not like, okay, my kid's 4, they aged out of this. If you guys are new here, my name's Rachel from Confidently Mom. I've shared all things Lovevery for the last over 5 years. I've also shared Montessori at home tips and toys and buying guides and gift guides and all that stuff. So definitely go back and check those things out. If you've watched my channel for a really long time, you know I typically show my kids playing with all the toys and the joy on their faces and all that stuff. I have decided in kind of like my YouTube break I've been taking to not show my kids on the internet anymore. You will still see my kids interacting with the toys, but you're getting their hands and their knees now. The first grouping of items are the counting and quantity one. In that we have the counting cups. And this basically comes with a double-sided game board, 20 collapsible silicone cups, and 20 double-sided coins. There's 3 different ways to play with it. First one is called Bug Dash, and I really like this game. So do my kids. It basically starts mentally mapping, graphing, while also working basic one-to-one correspondence. The second one is called Cup Swap, and while I like the idea of this game, it did fall a little flat for us. It is a 2-player game. Each starts with 10 cups. But here's where the instructions got a little unclear. It says you place the cups you took from your opponent on your side of the mat, which you would need 5 to win in that sense. However, it says the winner is whoever collects all of the cups. It feels like you're either starting with too many cups or you just shouldn't be using the 10 frame to play. However, I love the 10 frame because that's something that they're going to be using constantly in their early math lessons. It also really helps with subtitling numbers quickly. So again, I like the idea of it, but we had to change the rules. Once we sorted out the rules, it didn't fall flat for us anymore and was actually a lot of fun. This was the only game we really had that issue with, which is saying something because within the 9 different activities or games that come in this, you are actually getting upwards of 20 different ways to play. The third game that comes in the Counting Cups box is called Number Match. Basically a memory game. The challenge and skill that they're working on is the ability to look at the actual digit and quickly convert it to what that looks like in quantity. I found this to be a really nice challenge and twist because so often they're just looking for the exact same thing. And again, this is really connecting that sort of subtitling concept, which I love. Working one-to-one correspondence you can do with tons of different things throughout your day. Lovevery even has items in their play kits that work that concept already, which is why I also say this is kind of like the one item I could have taken or left. It's also the first item, so I will totally claim that my kids are beyond this item developmentally at this stage. In terms of alternatives, you could get something like this Lakeshore Learning hands-on graphing tray, but the counters are sold separately. You could also get a Learning Resources Connecting 10 frame, which is going to grow with your child. The 10 frames actually connect, allowing you to work on multiplication later on. There's also a Jumbo Magnetic 10 frame activity set, and would probably be my pick out of all of these alternatives, as well as Zingo 123, which is basically bingo. And there's a number puzzle set too. The next item is called the Number Builder board, and this is really cool. Both my 4 and 7-year-old had so much fun with it. It basically has 3 different difficulty levels with double-sided sheets that begin teaching addition, subtraction, and early graphing skills. Since with the mystery puzzle piece, like when you find the answer, you have to track up to see the number. Start by taking a sheet, setting the board up with the revealed pieces. With my younger kid, I had him just count out the answer, but for my 7-year-old, I had her using addition or subtraction to find that missing number. When they think they have the answer, they take that piece and line it up over the darker blue, and it should line up properly if they are correct. Again, nothing like Lovevery's that's going to have that sort of self-check. What's that called again in Montessori? Control of error. that one. But there are two for you to consider. One of them is called this number bond house board, which isn't as clean, open and go feeling as Lovevery. Say this is a little bit better for older kids. So my preferred pick would be Montessori math strips, which brings in more of the simplicity of Lovevery and goes beyond the number 10 too. Don't know that any of those will give kids that same confidence momentum that Lovevery's does. Side of that box is the Total Up Train game. Using the same pieces, you gather 2 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, then one of each of the other numbers if you're playing the more challenging version. Then you have to spin and add that number track to your train, and whoever builds the longest train wins. My kids had a blast with this. The previously mentioned number board house and Montessori math strips both are going to work similar concept, and you could also just go for something simpler like a magnetic train board, which is going to bring in more of the train theme. The next group of items are under the addition and subtraction category, with the first one being the Count On Cafe, a really cute game. It comes with a cup, a plate, and a bowl. Each has 3 different double-sided pieces that act as different menu items. The lid of the box actually has the menu on full display for customers, and then the highlight of this that I just think is beyond brilliant, probably one of the coolest items in this, I mean a lot of the items in this are really cool, but this is really genius, is this serving pad, like a real waitress pad. However, you guys will see this in the alternatives. Nobody's really considering the age of kids that would be playing this. Your kid does not need to know how to read or write to do this. Instead, we have it color coded, and inside of it you have the different items that they would just flip, and then they would just pop out a bubble popper for that item. Instead of having to know how to fully count like 3 + 2 + 3 equals, they would just go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then there's this turner here where they would get the total, and then they could hand that to the person as their receipt or just tell them. Brilliant. So good. Sensory, pretend play. It also comes with money. The colors are engaging. My kids are just like obsessed with this. This actually goes with a discontinued Lovevery item, their wallet, but you could also use an old one or get a cute one for your kid. And it also works really well with their play kitchen. My kids quickly moved this directly into their play kitchen, and they fought over who got to be the waiter. They were like really into getting to do the actual math, and they use this independently amongst themselves all the time now. There's no shortage of menu and pretend play, kitchen, store type of items. However, none of them that I could come across really geared it for younger kids who can't read or write like Lovevery did. For example, this is one of the more affordable ones. However, it requires kids to be able to write the menu item on the pad, and then kids have to do mental math with this alternative, and that level of detail that Lovevery provides really sets kids up for winning when it comes to math, and I am a huge fan of it. Next, we have the Plus and Minus Space Mission. This is a cooperative space-themed math game with 3 different play modes: addition, subtraction, and mix. So they're going back and forth between addition and subtraction. And basically you work together to get your astronauts back to Earth before the asteroid hits. My kids really love this game. My son, super into space, so very on theme for him. We actually have a game that's very similar to this, and I've talked about before in my preschool board game called Hoot Owl Hoot. The strategy between the 2 games is essentially the same. So if you've played that before, you'll quickly catch on to this. And we thought this was a really fun tweak on a family favorite. As far as alternatives that are actually working addition and subtraction, before we got this, our family favorite was Math Island. Pretty similar in the sense that it's working addition, subtraction. It's a little bit more advanced, pretty much always playing in this mixed mode. I think the numbers in that go higher. As far as Math Island goes versus this one, my kids like them equal. What Lovevery's brings that's really fun, we have all the different planet cards, and on the back, it has like a little description of each planet. Plus the lid of this game also has the solar system. Also, if you have Pokemon kids, there's a wormhole card in there, and like wormhole's part of it, and they really were like super excited about that. Next up are the Addition Strategies book set, which has 3 books featuring real kids working on real math concepts, from counting to adding to 10 and skip counting by 2. These books are really fun and interactive. There's different lift flaps for kids to like shout out their answer in it and then check if they're right. Overall, really creative, well done. You're gonna get nothing exactly like Lovevery's, who features real kids, real objects, real people. Instead, you're gonna get more preschool-y nursery rhyme type of books. Next up is the Number Sense game set. I just have to find a way to communicate to you how much I truly love this little package. So whopping 12 games inside. Yes, 12 games. It packs a powerful punch because you can like slip this in your backpack and your travel bag. It comes with 3 double-sided game boards, as well as a deck of cards, which also includes specialty cards depending on which game you're playing. And if that sounds overwhelming, do not stress, because the instruction manual has a quick reference guide on each of the game's rules pages of what you'll need. Difficulty level of the games within this are just a really nice spread, meaning your kids are not going to grow out of this even after the basic math concepts are mastered in some of the easier games. So for example, my 7-year-old, she knows how to count backwards, forwards to 1,000, all the things. However, the cookie game, she keeps wanting to play. Cookie game is basically you're just counting down from 15. If you teach them how to play it with strategy using subtraction, they're able to then block the other players from being able to eat the final cookies. There's just these little ways that make it more challenging, that make it more strategy, and really growing with your child in that sense. Pirate game is my personal favorite, but neither of my kids like it yet because with the steel in play, it was just too challenging for them. This set will easily go with your child from 2 years old in basic counting and matching, all the way up to like 8 and 10-year-olds who are mastering quick mental math and some strategy. It's a great sibling game. It's a great mixed age set. I'm just gonna keep stressing in this throughout the whole video. The name of the game with math is repetition, but doing that with the variety this provides really prevents that math drill burnout. The closest alternative would probably just be a deck of cards. You are going to lose out on specialty cards and different board game options that come in that, which I do think really orient this towards kids this age. The other alternative is going to be the Wild Side Number Sense card pack, and this comes with 50-ish games. This features addition, subtraction, and multiplication, so it's definitely geared towards an older demographic than what Lovevery's is. My kids are outside the age of this. That's probably where I would look. Third grouping of items fall under shapes and space. First one being the twist and turn pattern maker. So it comes with these 3 different turnable pattern blocks and a guidebook with 4 different stages. It also comes with a little travel bag. Big fan of this as well. I've always loved really compact games that we can throw in our bag or bring in the car, and this is a great car game. Basically, the copy is just that copy, but then as it gets into some of the more challenging ones like continue, translate, and complete, the answer key will be on the back. This is a great independent item. This is probably one of the items that your kids are more likely to age out of faster. I would say best suited for like 2 to 5-year-olds. My oldest, in order to get her kind of into it, I had to tell her that the translate cards were the foundation for learning how to decode secret messages. There are different pattern activities out there, but none that I could find including that translate option that Lovevery's had. So this board game, unlike Lovevery's, obviously they need somebody to do that with them. It also is working counting skills and addition skills. So if you are looking for something that might cover more than just patterns but some of the other concepts in this box, that would probably be my pick. Next up is the Stack It Up measurement game, and this is a really fun introduction to measuring, like giving Jenga vibes. However, you can play it with other people or you can have your child play it by themselves, which is really cool. Basically, you pull one of these yellow cards and you have to find a block that matches whatever it is asking of you on the card. I do love that even if your child can't read, they can look at the pictures to figure out what is being asked of them. And then you basically find a block that matches whatever the card's asking of you and you try to stack it on the card without knocking it over. Official rules say you win when you've stacked all 18 items on top of the card. However, I personally don't think that younger 2, 3, 4-year-olds have enough body control to get the tower that high. I personally adjusted this to build that confidence momentum in my 4-year-old. I found like what his upper limit was, like 7, I think it was. I was like, let's start with trying to get 8. And then once we got 8, we went to 9, then 10, and so on, and kind of building on that so they don't just feel like they're always losing the game. This is another good example where I say mixed ages, you might play slightly taller because you guys are all working together to stack the cards. Additionally, this game can be played alone. Like my kids take this out and they just read the cards and go ahead and stack and see how far they can get. This has been a huge hit with my kids. They asked to play it again and again, practicing on their own. I love it. As far as alternative educational insights, real big catch game, these telescoping fish that you have to fish for, then measure it, and whoever gets the biggest catch wins. There's also this game, How Tall Am I? Next is Pack It Up Spatial game. This is one of my favorites. I used to do puzzles like this in school and I remembered loving them as a kid. There's these different activity cards. So it starts off with a lot of different shapes being revealed, as well as the shapes of the mystery ones. And then slowly you drop some of them. And then eventually you even drop the lines of the mystery shape. My 4-year-old has sat there quietly playing this for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days. His very first sitting that he ever did this, he just sat there working until he got up to like puzzle 15. And then he was so tired and so summed, I had to like actively encourage him to go take a break, which he reluctantly agreed to. But the next morning he was right back at it, sitting at the table already working on it by himself while we were all still sleeping. The most similar option I found is this road trip packing puzzle, which is geared towards older kids. kids. As far as working on just spatial relations with littles, then tangram puzzles are another good starting point. If you were to get all of the cheapest alternatives, you're looking at spending roughly $152. If you were to get all of the most expensive alternatives, you're looking at closer to $260. And if you were to get the ones I said, this is my top pick, you're looking at somewhere in the middle of those. Lovevery's is the winner. It's well priced, and it also is really geared more towards those preschool, kindergarten, first grade, early math skills. Well, not all of those alternatives are going to do that. And it's also going to put a lot more heavy lifting on the parent or teacher to set up the different activity versus Lovevery stuff is grab and go. I'm just so impressed with part 1. I'm really looking forward to part 2. My youngest is really in a sweet spot. While my oldest is pretty much close to aging out of this, she was really still so interested and enthusiastic with so many of the different games that we were playing that I feel confident this should be like a must add to cart. The major thing I think Lovevery's math set is really resolving is that sort of math drill burnout. You could say this includes 10 items or 12 if you want to count each book separately, but in reality, you are getting over 20 ways to play the 9 actual games included in this, which is just a huge amount of variety. Personally, I think this should be in every classroom, in every home that enjoys educational or puzzle-like toys. I love how many of these can be played alone too. As far as their future sets go, part 2 is available for pre-sale starting today. It will ship in October. It's going to be dubbed the real world math, and this is going to work everyday skills like time and money. Part 3 is problem solving math coming in 2027, and that's going to explore bigger ideas like fractions and real world problem solving. I'm pretty sure my discount code TCM only works on Play Kids, but always try code TCM on your checkout. And I'd love to hear in the comments below, do you guys think this was a hit? What are you most excited to try? If you have gotten it, have there been any adaptations like I talked about? I'd love to hear all of those little tips down in the comments below. Help each other out. And until next time, my name is Rachel from Confidently Mom. Have a good one.